There are Olympic symbols that have come and gone and returned. The Olympic anthem, for example, that speaks of the ideals of the Olympic Games and about the symbols, and there is an Olympic salute, and even the mascots are part of the symbols, but for various reasons they have come and gone and are in a minor part of the Games, but still an important part. I have to admit, I knew about the symbols and read about them and understood what they meant as I was becoming an Olympian, but the full depth of the meaning came to life when I was invited to lecture and be a part of the Olympic Academy in Greece in the summer of 1988. I managed the Olympic torch relay for the 15th Olympic Games in Calgary and had studied all the torch relays up to that time and was asked to lecture on the history and meaning of the flames and the relay. I'm Jungle Jim Hunter, and you're listening to 831 Living Your Best Life podcast, where we inspire participation, communicate precision, and empower performers to podium. And we hope that you will tell your friends and relatives and people you work with to go to their favorite podcast provider or junglejimhunter.com or YouTube and subscribe, download, click on like, and rate and review us, and become an 831er, someone that helps someone else live their best life because we encouraged you to live your best life. Well, it's 29 days to the 32nd Olympic Games in Tokyo that's coming up and 60 days to the 16th Paralympic Games in Tokyo. And I would ask you to please watch these Olympic and Paralympic Games and support our teams. Today we're going to talk about the symbols, not known as well as the ones we have been discussing. Being there in Greece and seeing the ancient stadium and the gymnasium, as they call it, and being asked to recite The Light of Olympia, a poem written about the Olympic flame, and lighting the torch and carrying it to the top of Mount Cronus, Mount Time as they call it, was a moving experience. Let's talk about the symbols that are considered minor symbols of the Games. The anthem has powerful music and words that speak of the symbols and the aspect of the world coming together to compete for the ideals of the Olympic Games. Starting in 1936, many anthems were written by Games organizers giving permission to use them as part of their Games. Many of these anthems you recognize if you were born post-TV broadcast time because they usually become part of the host broadcaster's opening and closing music on television. The most famous are the writings of John Williams in the 1984 Los Angeles Games. In 1964, in Tokyo, there was an anthem written and used called the Olympic March. And it will be interesting to see if the 2020 version, happening in 2021 Games, revive it for this Games this year. Names of the anthems include Olympic Hymn, Olympic Fanfare, Bugler's Dream, the aforementioned Olympic March, Olympic Fanfare and Theme, the Olympic Spirit, Summon the Heroes, Call of the Champions, and they include many renowned composers. Henry Mancini, Marvin Hamlish, Francis Lai, Philip Glass, David Foster, and of course, John Williams, as well as many others. Another minor symbol is the pageantry and colors and flags that the host Olympic Games put together to give us color and excitement for the Games when they are on. And of course, the Olympic Games logo that is chosen for each host city. These change from Games to Games. The Olympic salute was used, but was discontinued because of its similarity to the Nazi Germany salute with your arm raised straight to the side. In addition, the mascots at every Games are part of the host city's way of identifying with all ages and stages of life. What surprised me most is the fact that there are no future Olympians in attendance at the Academy. Only those interested for the purpose of fulfilling an educational obligation or writing a thesis paper or preparing to work in the world of sport. The lectures given were given by Olympians and professors steeped in the history of the Games, and the weeks spent there taught me what I should have known before I became an Olympian. National teams would be making a wise investment to educate potential Olympians for the higher levels of performance if instructed in the meaning and motivation behind the symbols of the Games, because, after all, this is what it's all about when you're going to compete at the Olympics. To be an Olympian is just not an experience, although it is a unique experience you will never forget. I'm thrilled in the development of the Junior Olympics, for it introduces young athletes to what performance in a big event will be like in the future. However, Knowing the symbols and what you are really competing for places a focus on becoming what it is that you are really becoming as a person who's defining with clarity what it means to be an Olympian. My experiences of competing in 2 Olympic Games were that it was over far too quick before I realized what I had become. As I worked in broadcasting and attended games as an Olympian, I could see a much bigger picture of what it means to be an Olympian and representing my country, my community, and family. It is bigger than any other event, and don't let anybody tell you something else is even close, because it isn't. If your child or if the children you work with show Olympic potential, they need to be educated about the symbols and meaning so they can perform to their best ability. The athlete should compete to raise the bar of performance. They must perform clean and play by the rules. And if the spotlight is on you, then you should conduct yourself at the highest level of conduct, knowing you represent yourself first, your team in such a way that you inspire and empower to all in everything that you communicate. Your actions, your facial expressions, and finally, your words. Your family heritage and your community that invested in your growth, and your country whose flag you wear on your uniform. We have a tendency to think that the country should do more because of the flag on our arm or on our chest, but every country should do more. It isn't a matter of doing it all, it's a matter of doing what they can and what you can do for them. No country has ever fielded a full Olympic team for every event, but you are the country, and because you are the best of the best of the best, lead so others will follow. After all, 7 billion people could be watching you. The question is, are you leading or following? My quote for the day: leadership is inspiring and empowering everyone who watches, listens, and learns from you how to play their best music. I hope that you've been inspired with this Olympic series, and we will continue towards the Tokyo Games. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll have grown and will be living your best life the next time we meet.